What's going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I just recently accomplished an epic goal of mine with the recent video that I uploaded. My newest collection pickup, the Gold Star Espion. Go check that video out if you haven't. It's an awesome video. Going beyond just the value of the card. It's an awesome video. And I talk about some Japanese culture, but and some history. But this video is going to be different. I've never done a video quite like this. I avoid doing videos like this with a passion. I actually don't like this kind of content that I'm about to make. And you might ask, well, Orion, then why are you making it? And sometimes you gotta call it how it is. And there are people doing a great job in this hobby, doing that already. But you know what? They're probably overwhelmed with the amount of stuff going on in this hobby. Definitely not as much stuff has been going on like it was during the pandemic the last couple of years, but there's still a lot going on. The more I get into this hobby, the more my Instagram is just mostly Pokemon feed. And that's actually been really, really good for me because it's opened up my eyes to what more people are seeing. I've lived in my own little collecting bubble for a long time and avoided wanting to see what everything else, what everyone else is looking at, commenting on, watching. Also because I don't want to get sucked into, the matrix and the algorithms of Instagram or TikTok. I don't want to waste a lot of time. The same thing with YouTube. I try not to scroll too much on YouTube because I'm a creator myself and I value content creation and I value the way that it makes me feel and the fulfillment that I get from it. So, I try not to get sucked into other people's content too much. But I'm thankful for stumbling upon this because honestly, it just shows how messed up this hobby is at this moment in time. Guys, I saw an atrocity committed at a convention or a trade night of some sort. Again, I don't like making these kind of videos because I don't like the drama. I don't like negativity. I want to focus on myself and my journey and my collecting goals rather than worry about what everybody else is doing. And we have other people in the hobby doing that, right? We have other people investigating and criticizing and judging, and that's a part of their content. That's what they do for content. Nothing wrong with that. Everybody has their own form of content. I personally don't enjoy making content like that, but I'm going to do it today. The difference is I'm going to try, and I'm probably just going to inevitably doing more content like this because it's just so easy to make commentary on. It's so easy. It's so relevant. And most of the time I would rather educate people, but part of YouTube is also entertainment. And so I think this falls into that drama entertainment category, but I think I can do it without defamating people and, destroying people's reputations, because that's not really what I want to do. For example, there's this person trying to destroy my reputation because I have 99-cent shipping and I charge shipping on all my cards no matter what. I'll probably do combined shipping in the future, but okay, I want the price of my shipping, I want the price of materials, and I want to get paid for the time that I put into putting my listings out. So, I know how it feels to have somebody try and ruin your reputation, and I definitely don't want to be that person. Even if someone probably deserves it, I don't want to be that person. Anyways, I use that as just an example because that's the only example I've ever had selling hundreds of cards and items and theme decks. That's the only time anybody has ever been unhappy with me. And they didn't even buy anything from me, but they still keep trying to mess with me in weird ways. Anyways, so I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the person that I live in their head rent free, and I don't want this person to be the person that they live in my head rent free, right? So we're not going to say names, but let me just jump into it, because for those of you that have been watching, you're like, Orion, get on with it. But I'm just giving you guys a briefing that in the future, I'll probably make more videos like this, but I will not disclose names. That may change in the future, but I just, again, don't want a ton of drama. I just want to give my opinions on this and say what I feel it is. Which is kind of sleazy. I think this is pretty sleazy. I rarely do content like this, but guys, this is sticky. Now we're not talking about the scammers that are doing, hundreds of thousands of dollars in scams, thousands of dollars in scams. Even though that could be a part of it in the long term, if this is just the first thing I've seen, who knows how they conduct business in the long term or how many people have been ripped off in the long term. But, there was a Instagram reel. There was an Instagram reel with a little kid, couldn't have been older than, I doubt he was older than, 8 or 9 years old. I doubt it. I don't even know. But really, really young kid, probably didn't know what he was doing. He hands $300 to the vendor. And this also might mean that maybe conventions are no longer really a great place to go and get good deals. Now, this, you can't, say that because one person did something that all vendors and conventions are like this. But I will say, when I went to CollectCon here in Charlotte, the prices were kind of ridiculous. It didn't really align with the market like I thought that it would. And, it's crazy because the vendors are buying stuff at 60-70% and then flipping it. And I know that's what vending is, and I get that. But this takes it to a whole new level. Okay. So 7 minutes in, and I'm finally going to say what happens. This kid hands $300 and gets a Gym Challenge Japanese pack. Now, a little bit of information here. Gym Challenge Japanese packs. All Japanese vintage sets have a holo in every pack. This is something that I didn't even originally know, but one of my good friends let me know about a year into collecting, and I was like, wow, no wonder Japanese vintage is so much cheaper, despite quality being great and the holos being great, the Cosmo holos, you get it in every pack, which really depletes the value because it's super easy to get holos in vintage Japanese. That being said, some would probably think, oh, well, the kid, bought this Gym Challenge pack from one of the vendors for $300 or $270, whatever it was, $300, $270, it's all the same at this point. Too much money. That pack, people might say, oh, well, he got a holo. That was cool. He got like a Rockets Zapdos, which is not really worth much at all in Japanese. And even if it was packed fresh and got a PSA 9 or 10, still probably, I don't know if it would even be worth the price of the pack. That's irrelevant though, because the reality is that the market price on a Gym Challenge Japanese pack is really closer to $150 to $200, maybe even on the high end $220. This kid, and in the reel he hands 300s, so one can assume that it's $300 for the pack, even though maybe it was $270, whatever. The kid is a kid. You should hook up the kid. If you're gonna do a reel, if you're gonna post something that's going to be marketing for your business, oh, we're so wholesome, we hook up little kids with vintage packs so that they can basically live out these vintage pack opening fantasies, which really little kids technically shouldn't even really have those because they don't grow up with this stuff. So they don't have the nostalgia issues like that we have, right? The trauma of losing our cards or never being able to open those packs, but growing up in that era. So I don't even know why this kid really wanted to open a vintage pack, but he wanted to open a vintage pack. Maybe he was like, hey, give me a pack that's got a Charizard in it. And they were like, oh, well, Japanese Gym Challenge, you could get a Blaine's Charizard. So let's go for that. Cause in the reel, they're like Charizard. He's going to maybe get a Charizard. Even if he got a Charizard, it doesn't defeat the point that, the kid paid at least $270 for the pack. Maybe they sold the pack for slightly less. But for the video's purpose, they showed that they are selling packs for that much. But I went on eBay, immediately saw 0 sold listings anywhere near 270. And granted, this is a convention. Stuff's going to go probably for a little bit more than market prices because of the ease of being at the convention. And the vendors always say, I paid so much for my tables and I might have mixed opinions on this video because I have friends that are getting into vending right now. And this is not a shot at vending, but if you're going to be a vendor and you're buying stuff at discounts, that's the whole point of being a vendor, then, you know, there's no reason that you should be upcharging just because you have a table and you're renting out a space at a convention, right? The whole point is that you're getting everything on a discount because you're one of the vendors. So then why are you doubling down on top of that and then charging a large price that's over market? In this case, almost, what is it? 30, 40, 50% over market if the packs are typically going for 150. And, you know, I say this roughly, right? You know, maybe people won't think this is so crazy, but the fact that this vendor sold a kid a pack for $270, if that's actually what this kid paid, knowing that these packs are only worth $200 or $220, like, the thing is, in the environment of Pokemon and where Pokemon is going as a hobby, there's just so much money involved. There's too many people getting involved for money, myself included in some respects, right? We want to invest, we want to collect cards that are going to appreciate in value, and you know, we want to flip stuff and make money. I understand that completely. What bothers me about this Instagram reel was that it's a little kid. It's a little kid. It's not a grown man that makes grown man money, that can make his own grown man decisions, that has the ability and capable of doing his due diligence and doing a lot of research on this stuff. This is a little kid that looks like they don't really know what they're doing, and in my opinion got taken advantage of by a grown man that was working one of these conventions. That's very popular. They have a ton of following on Instagram. They show all these expensive sealed booster boxes that they're selling and middlemaning. And again, I could just say, Ryan, who is it? Who is it? I'm not going to do that because that's not the point. The point is not to have a band of angry pitchforks, you know, attacking this person online. That's not the point of this. But even when I looked in the comments, there were people like, dude, shame on you. And it ignited something in me. I thought, you know what? Why don't we see what these packs are going for on the market? You know, because you never know. If they're going for $240, $250 pretty regularly, then that's not that crazy of a price to ask for. But at the same time, it's a cash deal. Shouldn't it be a better deal because it's a cash deal like that right then and there? You would think so. Anyways, upon checking eBay, pretty much the most this stuff goes for is $220 to $240. And the vast majority of the sales are around $150 to the $200 mark. Now, again, every pack has a holo. So it's not like there's heavy and light. Every single pack has a holo. That being said, it's safe to say that no matter what, the kid was going to pull something. But just the fact that he paid so much and they even broadcasted that, like they felt good about it. I don't know. It rubbed me off wrong. And I just feel like it was sleazy. Especially because it was a little kid and, you know, they clearly had some adult behind them who probably didn't know the value of this stuff either, probably didn't know what they were getting involved with. But, you know, if that parent did know better, or if that kid knew better, it would have been way more entertaining if the kid was like, I'll do you 200. And they're like, all right, kid, deal. And they like gave him like kind of a deal, and then he got the Zapdos. Like, at the end of the day, the market price is what it is for those packs sealed. And whether he pulls a $10 card or a $30 card or a $200 card is all probability and luck and gambling. But it's very interesting to me that was broadcasted. Kind of a marketing point, and the fact that the kid basically got ripped off. Like, you really think that that's good content to show your business? Like again, if anything, the kid should have countered, or they should have been like, you know what, kid, this pack we have at 270, we're going to mark this down to you for 220, or we're going to mark it down to 240, which is one of the sales recently on eBay, and we're going to honor that price and hook it up because you're a little kid and you appreciate the hobby and we appreciate you and we want to build this community and make it better. Instead, let us just shaft you, have you overpay on this, and then we make our money and we can walk away knowing that we did something good for the community and we really helped that kid out. Like, dude, that kid could have, like, and this was one of the comments, and it really hit me hard. That kid could have bought so many cards, so many dope modern cards for $300, for $270, whatever. That kid could have bought a mint condition Japanese Blaine's Charizard for $270. But no, that kid had to overspend and get ripped off from that vendor. And you know what? I shouldn't generalize, but really got messed up there. Really got tongue twisted there. Because you can't just say that this is the kind of activity that goes on at conventions. But I don't know if I will continue to go to conventions if this kind of stuff is the stuff that's going on at conventions. You know, if it's just people getting ripped off, overpaying, I will stop supporting conventions, and I will tell people to stop supporting conventions. Because at the end of the day, the vendors are the ones who are winning. You know, and it's not nothing against being a vendor, but be a decent vendor, right? And I've dealt with a lot of great, decent vendors. But yeah, I did not like seeing this Instagram reel. It really ticked me off. And I never make content where I'm like emotional and upset about something. But I am today. Again, not calling people out, not saying names. It is what it is. Kid got overcharged. Maybe I'm making a big deal about it, and it's not that big of a deal. Maybe you guys can say, Orion, like, this happens all the time. People go to conventions and they overpay for packs, and I get that. Again, if you're a grown man or an adult, you have money to spend, you have disposable income. Kids don't. Kids don't. You know, and that's, you know, that memory maybe could be well worth the money that kid spent, sure. But that kid also could have been able to build some value, you know, with that money. It's just, and that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. The fact of the matter is that it was an overpriced pack opening by somebody that's pretty well known as a vendor, maybe very well known in the community. I had never heard of them. I had just seen this Instagram profile recently. And it was pretty cringy for me. Like, I respect the hustle. I respect middlemaning big deals. I respect selling stuff for all-time record sales. I respect that. And I think if this wasn't a kid, I would have been like, whatever. That guy's an idiot for overpaying on that pack. But it really upset me that it was a little kid. So, you know, we're trying to, this community is, you know, really, it's grown a lot in the past couple years, and stuff like that just, I think, sets us back a long way. And, you know, it's the little things. They add up. A lot of those transactions, you get a ton of those transactions, it adds up to just a toxic hobby. And I'm already, you know, bumping heads with high-end collectors and people that are very much so thinking about the value and the money. And, you know, I'm sure they're just as passionate, but I'm also bumping into high-end collectors that have had high-end collections, that have been, you know, the people that have been in this hobby while nobody cared about it, and they're now leaving the hobby. There are people that are like, I'm selling all of my Grail cards, I'm selling all my nice stuff, I'm getting rid of everything, I'm unloading everything, because I don't like where the hobby's going. It's just become a toxic, anyways, so yeah, that bummed me out, and I definitely wanted to make a more fun video, but I figure get the stuff that I don't really want to talk about over with, so that we can do like a fun video in the following day that I'll upload. But yeah, it definitely bothered me. Let me know what you guys think about this. Am I kind of overreacting thinking about this? Do you want to see more content like this? Do you want me to talk about the stuff that goes on in the hobby, and maybe keep my eye out on, you know, what goes on, what's going on, maybe give my own, you know, opinion on stuff. Yeah. Anyways, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. Anyways, peace out, guys. Let me know what you think about that. And, yeah. Anyways, peace out, guys.